I'm live. I think I'm live. Let's find out. Am I live? There I am. There it is. Am I over here? Oh, it looks live. Here we are. Hello. How are you? I'm fine. Thank you. All right. So, this camera was not placed right. Let's do this a little bit. Oh, this out of the way. Oh. So, we're testing. We're having some fun. We're doing the fun thing with the tests and the test funds. So, zoom in a little bit. There we go. Turn this a little bit. There we go. What's up, my geeks? Jeffrey Powers here from Geekazine. Think Magazine, put in a geek, and you got me. And today we're going to be testing. We're doing some testing. We're having some fun. And we got a couple people on, so thank you very much. Feel free to give that thumbs up right there. Go ahead, like, subscribe, comment. What we're doing today is we're testing out some of the shopping of the lives. So that is where we're going today. We definitely want to answer some questions. Monty says ready, so thank you very much, Monty, for showing up. Irish Chippy goes, sorry, Jeff, that'll be 3 a.m. here, Pascal. So 3 a.m., I totally get it. You're sleeping. I'm sleeping. We're all sleeping. Everybody's sleeping. So if you can hear me, please say yes, give a thumbs up or whatever. And if you can't hear me and you're like, okay, that's fine. So don't. Now, if you know me, I like to live stream using software. I don't live stream on my phone that much because I can't control it. I usually get like countdown clocks and graphics and saying, Jeffrey Powers, follow me here, youtube.com/Geekazine. And I even thought about doing it where I say take out the iPad and just go like this. And maybe for the next test, we will definitely try that. I was also looking for a couple other pieces to show you different things. Like, for instance, we'll just turn this way. There's the, I do have a camera set up. And inside that camera right there, that's me. Hi, how's it going? And of course, I'm showing all the products that are on the desk. So you can kind of see that, but you kind of can't. So, but anyway, these are things that I think about. Let me do a do not disturb for an hour here. There we go. These are the things that I'm trying to think about when doing this little test right here. Let's bring this back. The biggest thing is I did not want to hold onto the phone while I was doing that. I've got my Movo on, so we've got a wireless connection to you guys so I can be hands-free and show you some of these things that we're going to talk about today on this stream. So if you like what you see, geekazine.com I'm sorry, youtube.com/Geekazine or geekazine.com/live, and you're definitely going to get there from here. Now, it's really funny because I'm looking at my other end. This is what, when I am recording, this is what I see normally. So there's my PTZ camera, and there's the big TV. But today, we're just on a little iPhone, and I got my iPhone 12 set up there. There we go. And we're back and forth. It looks, yeah, that looks good. So we're gonna have some fun and maybe show you a couple pieces of cool merch that you might want to get as you're going from there. So if you have any questions, feel free. There we go. To go over to the William Chatnator and ask them. I will try to answer them as best as I can, and yeah, we'll work from there. So let's start off with the first thing right here. Let's talk about Apple iPads. If you have an Apple iPad, you know how great they are because I said so. It is. It's because I said so. There's not any other reason, because I said so. I have the Apple iPad. What we're showing is the Apple iPad Air 10.9-inch. This is something that I'm going to be getting somebody very soon. She's not watching, so it's okay. Maybe she's watching. I don't know. We'll find out. It's her birthday coming up very, very soon. So anyway, But I have the 11-inch. This is the M1 Pro. But I've had many different iPads in my time. I actually did a show called iPad 365, and then changed it up, became Apple Wild, and then of course we pod faded. I might be bringing that. I was thinking of bringing that show back, but it would. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Do you want that show to come back? Just let me know. Where the William Chatnator comes in. Feel free to say hi, and yeah, let me know what you think about this. I know a couple people are watching. I see it. I see it. So anyway, Apple iPad Air 10.9-inch generation. And this has got the A15 chip, I believe it is. But it's still a great tablet because a lot of people use their tablets at the couch. And you know, that's what I do with this guy right here. Is I'm at the couch and I'm playing a little bit of Clash of Clans. I'm playing a little bit, you know, I'm checking my stats. I'm checking my YouTube stuff. I'm checking this or that. I might be preparing for the next day's stuff with this tablet and a lot more. So there's my front face tablet. That's Zoe. Zoe has passed away. We have black cats. So, but Zoe was one of the special ones. Zoe. And Scotty is our current cat, and she's just as awesome. So, but anyway, you know, like I said, every morning I'll get up and I will play my Clash of Clans on my iPad. And I've got a case that has the little strap on it, which is really nice for what I need to do. Oh, I got attacked. So this is my Clash of Clans builder base. Let's go to my regular base. And there's my Clash of Clans regular base. So if you want to follow me at Geekazine on Clash of Clans, yeah, we definitely can talk about it. But lots of fun with this. I'm just going to grab some of the stuff that's here. I've been playing this game since it came out in August of 2012. In fact, if you remember my iPad 365 show, in August, I set up this clan right here. So I've been doing it for a very long time. It's a very cool game, and of course, a game that have played for about over 10 years now. That's pretty amazing, right there. I'll tell you, before it was Clash of Clans, it was a game called We Rule, which was also kind of a medieval fight game, whatever. But they just kind of lost their steam. And then We Rule closed. I got into We Rule in 2010, yeah. And then, yeah, let's see, 2010, 2011, and then it closed down in 2013. Maybe 2012. I'm not 100% on that. But this basically replaced We Rule for me, and it's just been the one game that I normally play. I do have some other games on my iPad, but as you can see, it's a great little alternate computer. Not my only alternate. You know, I have so many computers, whether it be PC or Mac, but each one has a specific purpose. And that's what I like about that. So anyway, the Apple iPad Air you can get from Electronic Express. Let's move on from here. Let's go over to like this. We got a 13.6-inch Mac with the M2 chip in it for a event, and I've really been loving the size of this thing, the ability of this thing, and just the portability is just amazing. With the two USB-C ports, they're Thunderbolt ports, with the external mag charge on there that's not taking up a port. That's what I really like about it. And of course, it's super thin, super small, and I can put this in my bag. What I like to do nowadays is I like to take my Mac Mini, which is also an M1, with me, and then I'll take a machine like this, or I'll take my MacBook Pro, which is pre-M1. It's actually an Intel, and then I'll take it with me on a trip. I'll load all the files into the Mac Mini and do all the processing, but then I can use this as the screen and the keyboard, basically signing in through a server connection, through remote connection, excuse me, and then when that's doing its thing, when it's churning along, then I can turn around and disconnect this thing and then watch movies, surf the web, all this other stuff, which is great. Really love it right there. So that's the 13.6-inch MacBook, also at Electronic Express for $1,199. There's many different versions of it. The base unit right here, that's what you've got. And of course, if you want to upgrade, all you have to do is check that out and go from there. So network, let's talk about my network. I use this guy right here. This is the Netgear Nighthawk 8. It looks like a stealth bomber. That's what I really like about it. It's bottom line. That's the biggest thing that I like about this is stealth bomber. And it's right over there. I'd show it but you know, it's kind of a mess. Anyway, so what I really like about it is it's got 4 1 gigs in the back. Plus, it's got the 2.5 gig port, which can also double as a single 1 gig if you don't have a computer that does 2.5 gig Ethernet. It passes. It was Wi-Fi 6, and you have Wi-Fi 6 and you have Wi-Fi 6E. Let's tell you the difference between the two. Wi-Fi 6 is basically takes the 2.4 gigahertz Wi-Fi and the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. Usually they have different what are called SSIDs to them. So you'd see, like, if I set it up, maybe I'd set up here at home Geekazine, and you'd see Geekazine 2.4 and Geekazine 5. Geekazine or 6 Wi-Fi 6 puts those together, so you just see Geekazine. If that was my SSID, it's not my SSID. It's just a little hint there. Anyway, so Wi-Fi 6 will merge those two together, so you don't have to be concerned whether it's 2.4 or 5 gigahertz. But Wi-Fi 6E is a 6 gigahertz band. And not, well, I don't think any phones are on Wi-Fi 6E just yet. Some TVs are getting, some computers are getting on Wi-Fi 6E. I have a couple computers, my main computer upstairs, and which other? I have a laptop. I know it. No, I have another. It's another desktop. It's sitting. They're both sitting upstairs. They both have Wi-Fi 6E in them, and the transfer rate is crazy. It's technically 6 gigabits per 6 gigabits per second, but that's back and forth. So about 3 gigabits per second, you can send a file to somebody else, and that's pretty sweet. Now the Nighthawk, of course, being Wi-Fi 6E, allows me to transfer from point A to point B at a lot faster rate. This is perfect for things like video. Going wireless over your network with video takes a lot of bandwidth and what are called packets. So basically, it moves, think of it like moving a bunch of boxes. So I'm creating a video which is a bunch of boxes, and then you have to take those boxes and you have to move them from point A to point B. You can't just take the whole thing and move it over. You got to take it one box at a time. And that's what happens here. So if anything else is happening, like somebody's watching a movie or playing a game, they've got a bunch of boxes, you've got a bunch of boxes, and you're all going to the same location with one door. And that door, that door gets saturated really quick. Now you add in things like security cameras and IoT and all that stuff. Everybody's asking for the attention for that one door. And so it's better to make the door wider and more doors available if you need it. And that's where this Nighthawk comes in, because it allows, whereas a Wi-Fi 5 allows for about 25 items to be connected, this one goes up to 50, I think 55, if I remember correct. So you can have a lot of wireless going on without a problem. In fact, I'm looking at myself streaming, so I'm seeing myself a couple times here, and I don't see any bumps or bruises or skips or jumps or anything like that. So that's awesome. But anyway, that's the Netgear Nighthawk 8 stream. They have different versions from Electronic Express. You can check that out. Let's talk about down in the studio. I was trying to find some cool stuff to show you from the studio here. And I wanted to show you this. This is the Vivo pneumatic arm, which is kind of not in the view. Let me move the Geniverse here. I got to move the MacBook and move the iPad to move the Geniverse, because it's a heavy little guy. There we go. And then we turn here. So normally I'd be talking in this microphone right here. But I'm not. It's a Heil PR40. But down here, this is what I'm talking about. This is the pneumatic arm. It's what's called an underslung arm. So I have this set up let's see if I can turn this a little bit more so you can see what's going on here. So right here is the mount. You can't see it, but anyway, mount usually has a pole, and that pole usually sits above the desk. Well, I put it below the desk, and the reason why I put it below the desk, there we go. The reason why I put it below the desk is so the pneumatic arm would go under the desk to come up. Therefore, this microphone, which is now out of shot, there we go. Now this microphone, the arm is not in my way, and the microphone is right where my voice is. So when I'm talking to you guys, you can hear me from here, and I can get to my things like my Stream Deck is right here. I usually have a phone here. I've got my Fire tablet right here whenever I need to make those adjustments. Easy peasy, click, 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 I'm done. I love this guy. There are a few what are called underslung pneumatic arms out there. This one is the lowest price at about $79.99. And, oh, what happened there? Bumps. I must have, yeah, I tapped on a cord. So anyway, so I like that guy right there because it's underslung. It allows me to continue to move and make a clean show for you. Let's move it out of the way because I'm not using that microphone right now. I'm using this little guy right here from Movo. Let's talk about the next item here. And hey, if you ever want to see me, let's just talk about my channels really quick. Geekazine.com, Think Magazine put into geek, and you got me. YouTube.com/Geekazine, that is where I am for all things YouTube. Amazon.com/shop/Geekazine. I do a live stream from there, and of course I've reviewed a lot of these products that I'm showing you right now on my channel there. And then, of course, twitter.com/Geekazine, facebook.com/ you get the idea. We got in the description all the links, so go down there and check that out. If you got a question, please ask in the Williams Shatnator, and I will try and answer from there. Let's talk about, we were talking about Amazon, but this is a great little combo over at Home Depot. And so basically what will happen is if you click on that, that'll take you to the Home Depot page, and then you run it out, and then you could go get it or have it picked up. You could have it delivered to you however you want to do so. But this is a great little combination. It's one of my favorite Echoes. It's the 3rd generation Echo. Looks like a little hockey puck. I actually have one sitting over there. It's so a small form factor. It's great to have on the table, especially when I'm live streaming. I had it on this desk for the longest time. Then I 3D printed a nice little case for it and then hung it up right over there, right outside the reach of it. But I can, it has a few buttons on the top. One will mute the magic word. I like to say the word LA when I'm on live stream. So if I say LA, turn on the lights, just replace it for the Echo's actual keyword right there. But yeah, I'll say LA, turn on the lights, turns on my lights, turns off my lights. This is a great thing. Now, this comes with the ring-wired video doorbell, which is, of course, Ring is synonymous for video doorbells. And so we've got, I don't know what version of, let's see if we can see what version. Oops, let's hit that button. Let's see what version of Ring doorbell that is. The doorbell is 1080p HD video, advanced motion detection, and of course you'll go into your smartphone, and whenever somebody's at the door, you can get notification. It's just amazing little guy right there. I'm not sure what revision of Ring doorbell that is. It looks like a later revision. Yeah. But you get the combo, the 1-2 punch for under $100. That's pretty amazing, I think, because you basically can set up your home system, whether you are living in a house, whether you're living in an apartment. They have adapters, so if you don't have a doorbell, you can attach it to your door without drilling any holes, which is pretty cool. But if you have a doorbell and you want to replace it with the Ring, you basically just have to reroute the wires to the doorbell. Make sure your power's off before you do anything like that, of course. But once you get that set up, then you don't have to worry about batteries at all. This does come with, you might have to get some extra accessories to get the power going through it. depending on what your situation is. But when it's all set up, once again, if somebody passes by your door, you'll get notification if you want. If somebody rings your doorbell, you'll get notification. You can talk to them through the app. So amazing little guy right there. So that is the wired video doorbell with an Amazon Echo 3rd generation. I call the hockey puck, but it's a great item. It's whenever I order a new Echo, I usually get the hockey puck because, like I said, it's such a small form factor, and yeah, it's such a small form factor. It's crazy. Plus, you can actually set it up so you can hide it behind things, and it hides really easily. Nothing against the other versions of the Amazon Echo. We also have the 4th generation up in the living room, but it's harder to hide. And we kind of use it. I did a little Lego Disney World because we went to Disney on my 50th birthday, and so I did the Lego and we put it in the living room, and I have the Amazon Echo sitting on a little post, becoming the moon of the design. I'd show you that, but once again, I'm just on the phone, so I can't really play that game right now. I can do this. I can take this button right here, and I can say, there's that look, and there's that look, and there's that. Let's go this look for, yeah, we'll do this look for a little while. So there I am, like this, and I can flip the camera. That's basically all I've got for functionality. So anyway, so the ring wired doorbell and the Amazon Echo, great little item right there. Let's talk about your home power. You know, we're getting yesterday, count them, 2 tornadoes were in Iowa. 2. Isn't that crazy? So if you're in an area where disasters could happen, if you're in Texas, remember a couple of years ago in Texas that they had that cold snap because the Arctic air went down so far down south that some of the pipes froze. So it's very important that you have some sort of backup generator, and that's where the Geniverse is. I've talked about this several times. This is rather heavy. This is the Geniverse right here, formerly Generarc. And I just saw them at CES, and they have some great advances in this technology and their solar technology. Being able to put solar panels on your roof, and then run the cables through to a big junction box, and then you can plug it through. What is this called? This is called the I can't think of the name. Like it's a person's name. Oh, I'm drawing a blank. Oh yeah, Stefan says transmission is fine. Thank you very much, Stefan. I appreciate that. So anyway, you plug it in here. Solar panels then charge this guy up, and it's great. This does 1,000 to 2,000 watts. You can plug in a refrigerator and get about 4 or 5 hours worth of keeping your food cool. You can plug your phone in, your tablet and your phone several times. We're talking like a lot of times if you're on extended power outage. If you got like a CPAP machine or an oxygen machine, this thing will charge it all night. To get the power to going, all you have to do is just push this button right here. You heard the little fan go, and then of course, as you can see, we got some power here. And then just to turn it off, you just have to hit the button again. We've got some USB ports right here for quick charging, and of course, regular plugs, up to 1,000 watts. So you could do like some microwaves you could plug in here to cook. And I even plugged in I have the Heat Storm. I talked about it a few weeks ago, the Heat Storm. It's an infrared heater, and I plugged it in here. It did drain the power pretty quick, but I could warm up an area within about 30 minutes and go from there. Now with this, you can get this with the solar panels. You can get it without the solar panels. The solar panels add to it. The base price is about $800 for this guy right here, but it's well worth it if you're going camping. It's perfect to put plug lights in. It's perfect to charge phones. It's perfect to do a lot of other stuff. And then, of course, if you lose power to your house, this will charge a lot of things. In fact, I did a live stream when I first got this 6 months ago. I did a live stream using the exception of my network, which is kind of hard to plug in here. Everything else, the computer, the cameras, everything was going through this guy right here. So this thing, I trust it. Plus, there's a Home Power 2, the Home Power Pro, and the Home Power Pro Plus, which is just this crazy thing, which is like 2 HomePower 2 Pros stacked on top of each other in like a little cart that you can move through your phone. Pretty sweet, huh? Plug it into solar. You don't need to have solar on your house. They have panels that you can set outside and then plug into the generator. Easy peasy, and go from there. So amazing stuff through our friends at Geniverse. Excuse me. This one you can find at the Home Depot. So once again, you can order it. You can pick it up in the store. If they have it there at the store, you can go pick it up, or you can have them ship it to you. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's move on from here. Let's talk a little bit about what more I got in the studio here, which showed you the TV back here. Let's flip it back over. There's the TV right there with all the products. And this is a TCL. This is the 43-inch. What we're showing is the 55-inch Class 4 series TV. And let me just get this out of the way. And let me do this. There we go. And this is from Electronics Express. And with this is a 4K UHD TV, smart Roku TV. So of course, I've got my, where is it? I just had it. There we go. Get my Roku remote right there, and then I can turn it off if I wanted to. There we go. Turn it off, or I can turn it back on. It's also got antenna. It's also can hook up. You can hook up your cable box to it. You can hook it up as a game controller, and a lot more. If you go to the antenna, you basically can search the channels, your local channels. Plus, it will set up over the air channel, not over the air channels, but these extra channels that you can see. So you know, whereas we used to have like, what was it, 5 or 6 channels growing up. Now thousands of channels, and as long as you have basic internet, you can get a lot of these channels. Plus, and with ATSC 3.0, it allows TV stations to host more than one channel. So you have the primary channel, which is in their highest definition. Then you have all these little sub-channels where you're watching old TVs, old movies, old whatever. And all of these channels are basically emanating from the same tower that, you know, your TV station, your main TV station, is coming from. So with all that, you can have, minus those extra channels I was talking about, the, you know, like the sci-fi channel and the cats channel and the comedy channel that you see through the list. Just those basic ones from your local area, well, could be like 10 to 20 channels in themselves over the air. How crazy is that? So having a TV that also has over-the-air TV, because if your cable goes out, you're still watching something. And that's pretty cool. So this is $319.99, and this is a perfect TV. If you have a good TV for your living room, put it in your family room, put it in the living room. I got it down here in the studio. You get the idea. Maybe one out in the garage. If you do a lot of shop work and you just want to watch TV. Plus, you can connect up. It's a smart TV, so I can connect up to my network, and I can watch my Netflix. I can watch my my Hulu. I can watch my YouTube TV, anything like that. So $319.99 from Electronics Express. That's the TCL 55-inch Class Series 4. Of course, if you want to, I also have the Roku player. There we go. I'll switch that over there. I also have the Roku Ultra streaming. I have the Ultra, I have the Stick, I have the, there's one in between that. And then I've had Roku players since they first came out. I've been very impressed with Roku, and of course the TVs from TCL. So if you already have a TV and you want to make it smarter than what it is, like I have TVs which do have smart ability to them, but I just plug in the Roku because it's a lot easier because I already have the app set up. And I can watch all of my favorite channels through that remote control with the headphone jack too. This is actually a pretty cool feature. I don't use it as much. I need to use it more. You plug the headphone into the remote control and then you say, don't run it through the speakers, run through the headphones. So if anybody else is sleeping, you're just watching some TV, you can do it in privacy through that little app right there. And that's pretty cool. So that's the Roku Ultra Streaming. Once again, that's a Home Depot app that you can get, and once again, you can go pick it up or can have it delivered to your door. Next up, I'm working on building a new NAS, my old backup system. And believe it or not, and I have a feeling a lot of you are like this. You were really religious at doing something, and then COVID hit, and then you just didn't do it. For me, it was backing up my computer. And I have a hard drive sitting right there that's almost to the verge of no return. And I'm going to try and pull as much data as I can out of it. It's going to be a long and drawn out process, but it can be done if you do it right, in the right situation. You don't move it around too much. You keep it in a cool area, all that other good stuff. But I needed to start thinking about further damage to anything that I created for the last couple of years, because I do have everything backed up onto a NAS system. But that NAS system is old and getting a little bit outdated. So I decided to build a brand new one. And I did it through taking an old PC and then repurposing everything for the main box. And then I'm going to put hard drives in. Now, the PC that I have, the motherboard that I set up, was specifically set up for what's called RAID, which basically takes some disks, whether it be 2, 3, 4, 7, 15, and then it takes the data and it puts it along the disks. So let's say this drive dies right here. It still continues to work, but then I can replace this drive and it rebuilds all the data that was kind of stored here, so I don't lose any data. It's actually pretty cool. And plus, in some cases, you use RAID data or RAID drives, it actually speeds up processes. Not as much as an SSD does, but back in the day when that was a better option, that's what we did. So anyway, the next step, we got the PC going. I had to get a new power supply, but I got these right here. I don't have them. I didn't open them up. Let's open one of these up. Let's go ahead. This is the Seagate Exos. We got the 16 terabyte model, but I did get a 12 terabyte model. Ultimately, I'm going to have 4 of these. I'm still waiting for one more to show up. And that's going to give me a total of 48 terabytes worth of data to work with. So here we go. This is the X14 Exos drive. It's a regular hard drive, spinning disks, 7,200 RPMs, but once again, it's going to save all my older data in there. And I got a backup scheme. I've done backup before in enterprise situations, so I got a backup scheme where I can, if this was to absolutely fail, then I have another place that it will be saved to. And of course, the old NAS will be repurposed for more of a short-term backup, and then this will be the long-term backup through these drives. So I'm keeping them nice and clean and dry by not pulling them out. That's why I put it back in the box. But one of these drives, in this case, it will be 16 terabytes worth of data. And you can do a lot with that, storing files. You could have a single one that stores regular files, but remember to start backing it up to something other than that. Even if you bought 2 and did what's called a striping mode. Basically, when it saves it on this disk, it'll save it on this disk as well. So if this disk does die, then you can replace it, and this disk will rebuild it on this disk, or anything like that. So it's still a form of protection, although not as great as RAID, because RAID it's far superior. We won't get into all the details on RAID or striping, but you can have 1 disk, you can have 2 disks, and these are the Exos series are made for this type of data collection. You can use them as single disks in your computer, easy, but 2 or 3, you get a nice stripe or a RAID going, and you're good to go. So anyway, $249 from Newegg. Check that out. Go over to Newegg for the drives. All right, last thing that we're going to talk about today is the Eufy security cam. Now, I have these security cams all over my house. I've been working with Eufy for about 1.5 years now. I have this package camera thing. It's outside, and when I get a new package, they can put in a code, and it opens up, and then they put my package in, they close it up, and it's got a camera attached to it, so I can see what's going on. I do have their doorbell system, so I know who's coming and going, which is great. They also have a double doorbell, so it's got 2 cameras on it, which is really cool. But then I have the Eufy camera. What's the model here? I think these are the 330s. Let's just double check. And this is at the Home Depot as well. What do we got here? I don't need to do that. So these are the Eufy Cam 2 Pro wireless home security cameras, 3-camera kit. And I believe these are the 320s or 330s. Let's see if I can see them a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure the model of the cameras, but the camera, the system is great. It comes with a base. Now, and the home base has to be hardwired into the router. So a landline, an Ethernet cable from the base to the router it has to happen. There's no wireless here. But the home base takes care of all the security cameras, which is great because it allows your wireless router to not have to worry about that. You get a lot of these USB wireless security cameras that run at 2.4 gigahertz, and they're all over the house, but they're always talking to your router. And once again, we talked about that with Wi-Fi 5, you have 20 to 25 connections, and then of course Wi-Fi 6, you got better connections, but you still have to worry about how taxed that router gets. And the more you plug in wirelessly, and the more times they talk back and forth, the harder it is for anything to happen properly. So with the base, it allows you to connect all the security cameras up to the base. And so only one thing talks to the router and, of course, to the network. And that's what I really like about it. Plus, Eufy, they've been really getting good on these batteries. In fact, I have one that's been sitting outside of sunlight, and it's supposed to go for 180 days. 180 days. And so far, we're on 1 month of the 180 days, and it's still at like 95% or something like that. It's crazy. But they also have ones that have solar panels on them, so you never have to charge them. As long as there's sunlight that's powering them, that's juicing them back up, they can power again. And then, of course, you can open it all up through the Eufy app. Here we go. Let's call that up. There we go. So I will show you. Oh, we had the mailman just at the front door. And then this is the garage. This is actually my door that's right over here. There we go. And it just looks at that door. Now, you can also set areas where you can say, okay, if somebody comes through that door, that little area right there, that's when you start letting me know or hit record. But if something comes from like right over here, you can kind of block that so it doesn't alert you to it, because it might, it might just be a cobweb swinging in the wind or something like that. But you get the idea. You can set it up for a lot of things. Plus, Eufy's been working on this AI detection, whether it can determine whether it's me, it can determine whether it's somebody else, it can determine whether it's a dog. It can tell you if my car pulls up in the back and the camera looks at it, it says, oh, it's just Jeff's car, and Jeff's getting out of it. So we're not going to let Jeff know that he's there. We can, but we don't have to. But if somebody else comes back there, then it can say, hey, wait a minute, let's throw up all the red lights and let them know. That's a weird car. I don't understand that car. And then my phone will get a notification that somebody's back there. So that's the Eufy Cam Pro wireless home security system. It's a 3-camera kit. It's got a 365-day battery in it. That's not the base, that's the cameras. The base has to be powered. But everything goes to the base, and then, of course, the base goes to the router. You can get the cloud computing, or I believe there's also a way to actually store the data. They do have a base station that you can now put hard drives into and store up to 16 terabytes worth of data. That's where Eufy's going with it. Plus, they have other types of cameras and security lights, in backyard lights and door cameras and all that other stuff that you can attach to it and have an all-in-one system for your security. So that's pretty cool right there. Highly recommend it. $469.99. It's at the Home Depot, so check that out. and go from there. And that's it. I think. Well, oh, Stefan goes, why build one a Nest? There's some on the market. Yeah, I could have a Synology, a QNAP. They're all going to be $400 or $500. I have all the parts here. I can save myself $400, $500, $600, $700, and then I'm using a thing called TrueNAS, and that's it's a free piece of software. If you've got Windows, you can turn a Windows box into a network attached storage with security and everything if you wanted to, or you can use Linux, or you can use a lot of different ways. But I'm saving myself $600. Unless Stefan, if you want to send me a QNAP, I'll stop what I'm doing right now and just use that. The NAS that I had before was a Drobo, and Drobos right now they stopped production. They filed for bankruptcy. Doesn't mean that they're closing shop or anything like that. It just means that they put a halt on everything. So that is going to be what I call the temporary NAS. So basically, files get transferred to that Drobo, but ultimately this is the main backup. It's a multi-tier backup system. I've done this many times, and it's a great way to save your data. I also have these RDX drives, which are really cool. I think I got them over here. Yeah. So this is an RDX drive right here. These are 2 terabyte drives, and they work like tape used to, LTO tapes. So I could plug it into a cartridge USB plug thing, and then it just basically saves that. And I have data on here as well. So I have data in multiple spots, and I'm hoping, now I'm thinking about it, I might have some of that data that I lost on that drive on one of these. I'll have to pull that up and find out. That's the beauty of multiple backups. So Stefan gives me a smiley face. Thank you very much, Stefan, and everything like that. So that's what I've got for today. Let's go through the list again, because this is kind of fun to do. So we started with the iPad 10.9 inch from Apple, from Electronics Express for $599.99. You can get that now. And then, of course, the MacBook Air with the M2 chip, 8 gigabytes with the 256 gigabyte hard drive in it for $1,199. That's this guy right here. It's so small. That's what they say. That's what they say. And then, of course, my network in the house is the Netgear Nighthawk, the main network. I have several different networks here because I test a lot of different routers. But the Netgear Nighthawk, this is actually the 8 stream. I got the 10 stream one, but this is $379.99. Great especially if you're game. Oh wait, I got to change let's change another effect. Let's go slate. Ooh, this is slate. This is slate. So anyway, $379.99 from Electronics Express. Then we have the Vivo pneumatic arm, which I use for my shows when I'm not doing it this way, and holding the XLR microphone, and that is $79.99. It's an underslung, and I have it set up on the desk, so it's got a very small footprint, and that's what I really like about it. And then we talked about, what else did we talk about? We talked about this great combo from Amazon, the ring-wired video doorbell with the Amazon Echo 3. Let's move over to this one with the Amazon Echo 3, and $499.98 at Home Depot. So you can order it now, and if it's in store, you can go pick it up, or you can have them deliver it to you, or you can set it up so you can go to Home Depot when they have it, and then go shop Home Depot afterwards. That's pretty cool. So, and then we talked about the a little bit of power protection with our Geniverse. Geniverse right here. This guy, it's heavy. This guy right here for all my power. I have, like I said, I have done live streams through this. In fact, I could have just plugged this into my phone to keep my phone charged during this home thing. And if I did it that way, I could probably live stream for days, if not weeks. That's how much battery is in just this little guy right here, which is great. And of course, it comes with the solar panels, so you can set them up so you can recharge your Geniverse in an emergency. And that's $1,499 over at the Home Depot. We talked about the TCL 55-inch TV, 4K, UHD, HDR, LED smart TV with Roku inside. But if you've already got a TV, we talked about the Roku Ultra streaming player as well. And you can get that at $128 over, once again, at the Home Depot. I talked about my my NAS setup, and of course I'm using the Seagate Exos 16 terabyte. Well, I'm using the 12 terabyte, but this is a 16 terabyte from Newegg, and a great price for that, $249.99. So back up your data now, very important. And then of course our home security system, being the Eufy Security Cam 2. And I didn't say that these actually can record in high definition. We're talking, was it 2K? In these, with these cameras, I'd have to double check, but I'm pretty sure 2K. Some of the cameras will do 1080p. I've even got cameras that do 4K. 4K resolution means you can zoom in on something and still have quality video. So if somebody's in your backyard doing something, cutting down your Christmas tree or something like that, you can actually zoom in on their face and see a little bit more detail, which is great. So, and these are all the products in my live stream, these are the products in my live stream, in my live stream. So we did this was a test, and this was very interesting. Like I said, I don't normally stream from the phone, but I kind of like this in a way. I can't show you things. That's the only problem. And of course I can do these cool little features like, oh, there's bubbles. I'm forever blowing bubbles. Or this one right here. All right. Yeah, I didn't realize that I had these extra effects down here. A little dream sequence. A little glamour. Do I look better? Do I look cooler? I don't know. So we got the 8mm. Oh, so I look like an old film. That's pretty cool. And yeah, as you can see, I can go through all these little guys right here. And oh yeah, this is awesome. And then sketch. Buy yourself an apple. Buy yourself a Jennifer's right here. Oh wow, that thing's heavy. All right. Enough with that. Let's go back to normalcy. So thanks a lot. Thanks to Stefan for being on there. Thanks to Irish Chippy and Monty Weaver that asked questions in the William Shatner. We will be testing this again to make sure that I did everything right. I crossed my T's and dotted my I's, or crossed my I's and dotted my T's. That's what I was meant to say. It was crazy. It's crazy. We got some more. If you got some questions on products, please let me know down in the comments below. Go ahead, like, subscribe, comment, bell notifications so you know when the next video comes up. Because I'm doing a lot of CES stuff, and CES videos are the primary here. So we just posted a really cool video on Unistellar, which is a telescope that you don't need to look into. You can look into it through your iPad, which is cool. Stefan goes, good day. Thank you very much for sticking around there. So, and we've got, let's see, what's on deck for today? I think it's the Meta Matters. This is really cool glass. It's actually glass. He started it out as glass that you can see through your microwave, because they have to have this protective field to block the microwave waves from getting into your head and giving you cancer and all that other good stuff. They found a way to make it so that's all clear. But he was just Steve Jobs in it. But there's more. And that's what's really cool about this video coming out, I think either today or tomorrow. So check up on that. And we'll see you then. So in the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed this. We were doing a test here. And so I might just get on again and test this out a second time. So if you like what you saw, remember that thumbs up. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. And until next time, you guys geek out. Take care. You've been watching Geek Tech Talk Live. This is where I usually put up my logo, Geek Tech Talk Live, but I couldn't do that. So, all right, that's it for me. And I don't even know how to close this. I think I just have to hit this X. Geek out, folks.